Hello friends, welcome to Cool Toys. Look, today I bring you a new giant egg. This time we have fossil remains. But before we start, don't forget to give this video a super like, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Let's get started. The science that studies fossil remains is paleontology. Paleontologists are in charge of looking inside the sediments to see if there are any biological remains of some animal from the past. Look, over here we have the remains of what seem to be a dragonfly. Thanks to paleontological studies, we have managed to discover a lot of animals that no longer exist on planet Earth, but that lived here millions of years ago. Look, over here it seems we have the skull of a triceratops. Here is the mouth, its horn above the nose, and the two small horns it has on its head. Everything out. We also have here the remains of some kind of invertebrate animal. Take a look. All of this gets recorded in the rocks, the sediments. And finally, we have what looks like a kind of snail. Look, how cool. Let's take everything off. And now, yes friends, we reach the last layer in black. Let's open it all up. Inside, it's full of surprises. Look friends, it was really hard to remove the black clay, but I did it. Now let's open the egg. Look at this. It's completely full of surprises. And I think we're going to start with this envelope. Oops, a surprise has fallen over here. Look, it's called Jurassic Predators. We have the surprise envelope. It's gigantic, and also a book with information and activities. Seems like it's about dinosaurs. Look, we get a lot of information about them. The velociraptor, the megalodon, look. How big it is? It's like a modern shark, but of an enormous size. And a lot more information. You already know that I love all these books, because we always learn new things. And now, let's open the envelope. Let's see. Look at this, friends. We got a T-Rex. Oops. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, as you know. Tyrannosaurus Rex was a type of carnivorous dinosaur that ate meat. That's why it has this big jaw. Look, here we can see the detail of its mouth and its big teeth. Wham! Wham! It was a very big dinosaur, and it was also bipedal because it stood on its hind legs. Also, I love it because we can stretch it and squish it. Look, it's full of little cork balls. Inside the envelope, we also got an identification card, and it also tells us that this toy glows in the dark. So now we're going to turn off the lights. Look, inside there's a photograph of what he looked like in real life. And there's also information about his attack, defense, and intelligence. It also tells us that to digest, he swallowed large stones, which is a very interesting fact I didn't know. And hello, friends. And this is how it lights up in the dark. It gives off an impressive yellow light. We can even see its sharp fangs. Next little surprise. Let's see. Here we have a small envelope, the super thin power machine. We could get a superhero or a villain. And we got a villain. It's a scarecrow with his hat and his cape. We also get the collector's guide. Look, We have more than 90 to collect. Here we can see all of them. The one we got is number 545 in the collection. And on this side, the rest of the super thins. Ha! Those superheroes will never be able to find me. Haha. Let's see what else is here. Look, we have a little box with a dinosaur skeleton. That superhero, the top part tells us it's a dinosaur fossil. And we also have a bunch to collect. We have the Spinosaurus, the Diplodocus, the Triceratops, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but we got a Kentosaurus. Wow, look, how cool, we have the complete skeleton. If we look at it closely, we can see all its details. It was a herbivorous dinosaur, and it was mainly characterized by the plates it had on the top of its body. They went from its neck all the way to the end of its tail. It was a herbivorous dinosaur, which means it fed on plants. That's why its skull was smaller. Super cool, I love it. Let's leave it here and open another surprise. Look, we have a stress ball. Wow, it's been a long time since I touched one of these. And I have to admit, they're really relaxing. Subscribe. This one comes in fuchsia. We have this one in violet. Mirari is completely filled with Orbeez, with lots of glitter. We still have lots of little surprises left. Look, what a strange envelope. Big Animal, the world's largest animals, tells us that they are luminous animals. It tells us that inside the envelope we have a glowing tube, a little figurine, and a string. And here we have the instructions. Hold the tube and press it in the center, shake it, and put it inside the animal. I'm intrigued, friends. I've never opened an envelope like this before, so let's see what we find. It looks like they're going to be insects. Here we have a scorpion. Let's see what comes out. Wow, and we got a turtle. I thought they were all going to be insects, but no. Here we have our little turtle. It's completely transparent. And look, here comes our glowing tube. Let's follow the instructions to see if it glows, and we'll also turn off the lights. It tells us that we have to take the little tube and break it. And now we have to shake it. Look, we can see it light up already. Let's shake it well, and now we put it inside our turtle. Let's turn off the lights. Music of... Voila, friends. And this is the result. It's super cool. Like magic. The little tube has lit up. Amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Also, since the little turtle is transparent too, it lights up completely green. Music. It also came with a little string, so we can hang it wherever we want. I really don't know how long this light lasts. I think it will last for hours. Music on. I love it. With the light on, you can barely see it, but if we turn off the light, it's still glowing. Music. When we finish the video, we'll check if it still has light left. In the meantime, let's continue with the surprises. And look, we got this envelope, which is from Magnetic Power, the power of magnetism, and it also comes with different characters. We have a lot to collect. Let's see which one we get. It also comes with a collector's guide and some cards, music. The cards are of the characters we've gotten. We have Mr. Robinson, who's a little pig, and also Esther, the witch. On the back, we also get information about their strength, intelligence, power, and heart. Music. And here we have the two little figures. Music. Look, they're super cute. And on the back, we see the collection numbers, 73 and 52. On the back is their magnetic power. Right now, they're repelling each other. And now, friends, we've reached the last little surprise. Look, it's a lizard. It came all by itself inside the egg. And honestly, I love it. Look, it has an amazing range of colors. Green, light blue, dark blue. But what I like the most is this thing it has on the top of its head. It raises and lowers this part depending on whether it feels threatened. If it thinks someone might attack it, it raises it to intimidate them. We can also flatten it and stretch it. Oops. I love it. And we're done, friends. Here we have all the little surprises that came out of today's egg. I think what I liked the most was this turtle that glows in the dark with this fluorescent stick. I hope you enjoyed today's video, friends. If you did, you can help me by giving me a super like, a thumbs up, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now I'm going to turn off the lights to see if this still glows. Yes, friends, it still has a lot of light left. And with this, we say goodbye to you. Bye, friends. See you in the next video with more fun surprises.